Hello, everyone. We are here trying to learn Afterlife, Wandering Souls, a game by Angry Hamster that we are all very curious to see how it plays. I've been waiting a long time for this game, and it's a particular delight to get to try it, especially with this wonderful cast. This is a game organized by the Gauntlet Calendar of the Gauntlet community. The Gauntlet is a community that focuses on indie role-playing games, which you can find more information on the links below. Uh, this game is going to be covered by the Gauntlet inclusivity policy and open table dynamics. So if any moment you need to pause the game or leave for some reason, just inform and we'll accommodate that. There is no problem at all. It's an expectation from gaming this way. We are also using lines and veils. We have a tab with the lines and veils. So any point that is a living document, just update with something that you just don't deal with. And we have the two categories. We have lines, which are simple, things we don't want to handle at all. And we have veils, things that we might acknowledge as existing within the fiction of the game, but it's happening off scene or fading to black, or just we don't play through it at all. Then we have the X card. So basically, any element of the game that you want to see remove it, just like a theme, a name, something that you just don't want to play through. Just signal what it is and signal on chat, verbally, on video. And we'll just remove that and continue without that. So any minor thing, just feel free to do it. And we also have script change. Script change is for a more curated experience. For example, if you want to play through a scene, but I'm not so sure if I'm going to be comfortable with the ways that these can go. So yeah, let's pay special attention to the script change, and then you can fast forward certain parts. You can rewind what you want if you're not happy with the way something is playing out. You can pause and discuss with the other players, or you can use the X card even within the slower scene. And yeah, so the Afterlife is a game about the dead, and that's who you are playing. You are all on a boat on a dark river. Next to you is a green figure cloaked in shadows as it steers the boat towards a distant point of light. Your muscles are stiff, your neck sore. It's like your body would just pull through a whirlwind and spat on this boat. All you know is that you died, but you cannot remember how. And you are trying desperately to grab to your memories, which slip into dark water stretching all around you. The boatman stares at you, and you don't see its eyes, but you know how much he wants to tell you, how much he wants to share, but still silence reins him in. So, first of all, let's go to roll for a party, and each of you writes down your name and get 3 dice. These dice are going to be important. These dice are going to be clarity. So whenever you get a memory that you're not so sure about, if you want to play that or integrate that as your character, you can use clarity to get a change to reframe the context of the memory. And if you keep clarities up to the end of character creation, you can move points up and down by using clarity. So each of you has 3 clarity dice that you can use during character creation.
They are D6s.
They are D6s. All dice on these games are D6s. Also, pips might make it easier. for this purpose.
I'm watching the room and dice are moving around and I'm confused. Should I?
Yeah, get 3 dice for you, for your clarity.
Have everyone's but Sabine's like disappeared? Or is it just what I'm seeing?
No, I see my dice.
Yeah, I see Sabine's and I see 3 in the corner.
Oh, maybe the 3 are. Oh, yeah, they're off my screen. The other 3. I see Sabine's. Okay.
Okay, cool.
I will do 3. Sorry, I'm doing them on my phone. I don't have my whole setup with me out here. Oh, I forgot to do a label. Well, mine are the blue ones.
So now you're gonna be getting death marks. So you on your character sheet you have on the keeper, you're gonna have 9 things. I'm not sure if I put 9 of them. Okay, so 9 of them. So on these 9, you have my life was, what I learned, and what I know now. Basically, these are going to be your death marks, the memories that tie you back to yourself. So we're going to be feeling those during these. So first of all, you are remembering parts of your life. Bread, sand, dirt beneath your feet, they are all distant memories. You know that they exist, you know what they are, but somehow the meaning for you, the context escapes you. There's something that you cling to. And let's start with Sabine's character. You remember the city haunting you at every turn. The ceaseless movement, the pace that never slowed. It was imprinted deeply into you. You can feel still now the movements of the city just clinging inside you. And the boatman leans over you and asks, what was your vice on the city? What could you not let go? What made you go through the days surrounded on this ever moving machine?
My vice. I think it was rage, anger, expressing that in ways. I don't know exactly how, but I was angry a lot. I think I was maybe a destructive person.
And you see, you can feel it tingling under your skin, and you can see a pattern depicting the object of your rage, your unbound rage at the city around you. You're gonna mark the object of your rage as a death mark, and you're also going to start with body, mind, and soul at 2.
Where do I write that down, that death mark? On my life was,
yeah,
or-
on my life was,
Okay.
then, yeah.
Okay. And
The
then
dice
I
number
get
is
to describe.
2-1.
Okay.
The dice number is going to be 2-1, that you write, yeah.
1. Okay.
Yeah. And you mark your body
And body
on
and
the
body and soul.
body, mind, and soul. They are all at 2.
Okay. Cool. No, that's it. Okay. And I just get to describe what that death mark looks like.
Exactly.
Okay. I think it is a sort of a chalice. Yes, it's a sort of a very elaborate chalice that looks kind of like pompous and opulent.
Pearl's character remembers something else. You remember the sea, dark, all surrounding you, calling you, majestic. That's all you remember, the sea in every direction. And you remember drowning. You remember that the sea claimed you, or would have claimed, because you remember being found. You remember someone saving you at the most moment. You remember that someone else dared to tell the sea, no, they are not yours to keep.
Awesome.
What part of you was never the same after the experiment?
Experiment. Oh, all kinds of things going on. Give me a moment to process. So, almost drowned, rescued by mysterious
Someone.
entity, and then an experiment was performed.
I mean, sorry, an experience.
Oh,
What the
okay.
experience changed.
Okay. I was like, do I have cybernetic arms?
Again.
What was never the same. I think I only ever trusted my rescuer again. After that, I had been a much more open person. But no one else had been willing to brave fighting the sea itself to save me.
So you can feel a pattern on your back, and the boatman takes the care to describe it to you. It's a whirlpool. And your starting stats are going to be body 2, mind 1, and soul 3. And your dice for these are 4, 4.
Okay. Body to mind. I put this on the character keeper, yeah? Okay.
Everything on the death mark part of my life was... Okay. Dave's character wanted for nothing. The world was at their fingerprints. They could have anything that they wanted. But there was a single demand that was imposed on them. A single demand, but one that they found unbearable. They could not live with. And that refusal draws the attention of the boatman. And the figure leans over to you and asks, when was it? When did you disappoint them? When did they realize that you would not do that for them? You're muted, Dave.
It was when I broke my oath of chastity.
So you get the pattern of a gold medal, and your starting attributes are going to be body, mind, and soul at 2. And your number is 6-4.
Right, body. And, right, where do I put that number? Sorry, that's 6-4.
6-4.
Gold. Where do I put the gold? Where do I put that number on the sheet?
There is an entry. There is an entry for the dice on the My Life. There you put it. So that marks my life was.
Right, I can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 columns. Oops.
Leandra's character was not raised like other humans. Instead, they were a creature of the wilderness and taught the life's lessons by nature itself. There was an ancient power that you understood and that knew you. And the boatman seems to steer at that knowledge and stops paddling for a moment as it sits next to you. What did it sing to you? What great threat did you learn?
Sorry, what's the last sentence? What great threat?
What great truth did it sing you?
Okay. I think what this unknown well of power sang to me is that people can build and collate and cohere the world around them as much as they can, but they can never bend it to their will fully. Nature always wins.
And with that, you can feel a scratch, and on the place there you can see the hint of a death mark of an open eye. You start with body 2, mind 2, and soul 2, and your numbers were 3, 5.
Cool beans.
So as you cling to these very basic, essential premises of yourself, these memories that you just don't want to get go, you start to think about the lessons that you learned across a life. Where, the training and the repetition of doing those things over and over, it's imprinted even in your soul. And it's part of you, even if you don't remember. They are distant, foggy concepts, but you still remember a faint shadow of them. So we're going to be rolling for the memories that you get, and you're going to get points that are going to increase your body, mind, and soul. So let's start on the reverse order with Leandra's character. And you remember being lost in the woods. And as you focus on the memories, you start to think, was someone chasing you? You're looking for something. Were you looking for someone else?
I'm always looking for someone, I think. I don't think I've ever... But I don't know if, like, am I looking for someone because I've never found them, or I always have to keep looking for someone? And maybe once I found this someone, I move on to someone else. It's I don't like to think that someone's looking for me. No, it has to be me who's looking for someone. I'm moving forward. I'm not running away from something.
Okay, increase your soul by 1, and you get the death mark of a barren tree. Dave, your character remembers swimming in warm, inviting waters. Was something chasing you through these waters? Were you finally at peace? Or the warm waters were your goal all along?
Something was chasing me, or was that a question for me? Was something chasing me? What was...
Yeah, that's one of the questions. So the question is, was something chasing you, or did you for once feel at peace, or was the warm waters your goal all along?
I'd like to say something was following me. The waters were where I'm supposed to be, but there was no peace in the water.
Okay, so you get a mark of the ocean, and you get +1 body.
Okie dokie. Yeah. And that's going into what I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pearl's character, you remember something. You remember replacing someone all too easily, that you just slid into their life. Who was it that you took the place over? A family member? Someone in your job? Or you just replaced it as someone's significant other?
Whoa, that's really intense. I replaced them like stole their identity, or like they died and I body snatched them, or is that up to me, or?
That's up to you. I mean, it can be just, you are replacing someone in a job, or in a family, or in a relationship, or can be a full changeling scenario.
I'll say I took someone's significant other, because that sounds the most narratively bizarre to me. I'm not.
So you get that mark of 2 humanoid shadows, twin shadows,
Okay.
and you get +1 soul.
My soul's doing pretty well. Rest of me, not so much. Quick question. Does that mean I now have 4 soul instead of 3, or do I check off soul in the check-off boxes?
No, you have 4 instead of 3. The
Okay.
boxes are for advancement.
Okay.
Sabine's character remembers the city, remembers the rage, but there's something else that they remember. They remember losing their job. Was that on purpose? Or you were trying your hardest to do it and still happened? Or it turned out to be a blessing in disguise?
I think it was on purpose. It was like, I quit. You can't fire me.
So you get the fading pattern of fading money, and you get +1 mind.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Going again on reverse order. Oh, god damn it. I hate when this happens. Sabine's character remembers pleading their case in front of someone. Who has it? A judge? Someone you cared for? Someone that you did not know?
It was someone I cared for.
So you get +1 body and you get a crying eye.
Oh. Cool.
Pearls remembers something else. A voyage to a new home. Were you fleeing from your old home? Were you tormented by disaster? Or this new home was hope?
There we go. I'm thinking maybe it was hope. Maybe, well, for me, maybe this is where I went to replace the other person. And so for me, it would have been a hopeful thing, if a bit possibly sinister.
Yeah. So you can you get a carriage pattern in your body, and you get +1 soul.
Yeah, racking up the soul points.
Dave's character remembers shouting, someone that they loved yelling at them. Did you lash out in rage? Did you ask them why they were angry? Did you try to soothe them? Are you muted?
Philip? No, he's there.
That was for you, Dave.
It's it for me.
So, did you lash out in rage? Did you ask why they were angry? Did you try to soothe them?
Can you go back from the top? Sorry, from what?
You remember someone that you love yelling at you.
Sure. Okay.
Did you lash out in rage? Did you ask them why they are angry? Or did you try to soothe them?
I tried to soothe them.
You get +1 soul, and you get the pattern of a broken heart. Now, there is a thing that we were doing wrong. I notice now. We are not increasing the baseline status. We are increasing the ones below. So, for example, when you increase soul, you increase either charm, create, understand. When you increase mind, you increase apply, perception, or reason. And when you increase body, you increase either maneuver, overcome, withstand. So those are points that you get to spend on those below. Yeah. That changes since last year. Okay, so Leandra's character remembers being in a castle. Was it yours? You were there to find something, or you were there to destroy it?
I mean, I remember. I remember that this song told me that the world would never cohere to a singular vision, and yet this other memory tells me this castle is mine.
Okay, so you get wait. So you get a pattern of a tower, and you get +1 to a soul attribute.
Oh yeah, racking up them soul as well.
It's the soul gang. Oh. You remember losing something important. It meant a lot to me, or it meant a lot to someone you knew, or it meant a lot for the world.
Would you compare this to me again, or to
Yeah.
you? Okay, cool. I think it meant to someone. It meant to someone else. I don't think, or yeah, I think it's definitely for someone else.
Okay, so you get +1 soul attribute, and you get a question mark.
Oh, lovely.
The names of the death marks are what they are. For example, the question mark, the ocean, the tower, the twin shadows, in your case.
Hold on.
You got the
Sorry, is
wheel.
mine the whirlpool?
You got the whirlpool, the twin shadows, and another one, I think.
Okay.
Carriage.
I'm just looking at everyone's
Yeah, the
character
carriage.
sheet, and it looks like there's one specific one that people are naming, like Vice, Open Eye, and Gold Medal.
Yeah, Sabine's character has the rage, for example. Yeah. But some of theirs have definite names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does mine have a name beyond Whirlpool?
No, whirlpool.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry if I was confused there.
No problem. Dave's character, you remember an encounter with an animal. Was it a reptile, quiet and wise, a mammal, noble and proud, or an insect, small and mighty?
It was a mammal.
A mammal. Anything in particular?
I think I'm trying to. What was the descriptor for mammal again? It was
Noble and proud, like a possum.
right. Then let's go heraldic, and it was a lion.
So you get the pattern of a lion in your body, and you get +1 soul attribute. Soul gang indeed.
That's going in the what I learned column.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is still one of the 5 on what I learned.
Yeah.
Oh, a sad one. Pearl's character, you remember breaking someone's trust.
Oh no.
Was it a best friend, a colleague, or your protege?
Oh. Best friend. Maybe it was my protege because I said I would never leave. And then I
And you
did.
left. So you get a snake in your
Aw.
body. And you get +1 on your body's attributes.
Okay.
Sabine's character, you remember running with your friends. Were you banding together, strong in each other's company? Were you fleeing from a crime? Or you were chasing a guilty party?
All of the above. Uh, No, I think we were banding together strong. The crime doesn't matter anyway.
So you get the pattern of a wolf in your body, and you get +1 to body attributes. You also remember hiding. Were you not found? Were you ready to attack and ambush someone? Or you were hiding in plain sight amid the crowd?
I imagine I was ready to attack someone.
Okay, so you get the pattern of peering eyes, and you get +1 to body attributes.
Cool.
Pearl's character, you remember people approaching you, and you remember murderous intent as they were sent to kill you. Did you kill them before they had the chance? Did you talk them out of it? Or did you outwit them?
Character had a really colorful life. Outwit them, I think. Usually people with murderous intent are hard to talk out of things.
Yeah, so you get +1 to mind attributes, and you get the guillotine in your body.
Okay.
Dave's character, you remember something caught you off guard. It tore into you, you were devastated, or you were not impressed.
I wasn't impressed. I knew what I was, and their words had no lasting effect on me.
Okay, so you get +1 to a mind attribute, and you get the pattern of a failing body.
Can I ask a quick question? If you say +1 to one of the body attributes, do we add the +1 to the base attribute, or do we just add 1 and write that down?
You add to either the sub attributes below. So, for example, body, it would be maneuver, overcome, and withstand. Mind, apply, percept, or reason. Soul, charm, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But if I add 1 to body, and then I have a withstand of 1 or a withstand of 3 if my body is 2.
Oh, you're gonna be rolling your base body plus attribute.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So in the end, it's going to add for specific uses. So basically, this is specialization within body, mind, and soul.
I think probably just are we just checking for consistency there? So if I've got soul of 2 and I've added 1, shall I write 1 in charm or 3 as a total, just so we know what we're all putting in the box. Any preference?
I think it depends on whether we might be rolling more than one of the attributes of each thing. Like if you're rolling
think
soul
probably-
with create
yeah.
and understand versus just
Yeah.
create, so each one should only have its individual
It's
modifier.
skill. Yeah, that makes sense. Just yeah, no problem.
I mean, that's my guess. I'm not an authority on this, obviously.
Yeah, it's basically like World of Darkness. You know, you have the base attributes and then you add the skill dice.
I'm just gonna nod like I have any idea what that game you referenced was, and assume I'll figure it out.
So the Andrew character remembers your lucky object failed you. It burned before your eyes. Did it break when you needed to use it, or did you lose it forever?
Whew. Seems my character is, despite, I think my character probably, it sounds more likely they lost it. They seem to lose a lot of things.
And what was the object?
Oh, it was. Ooh, I think it was a book. It's probably some sort of commonplace journal that I lost. It's something I filled up years ago. Like, it's not really something you could add to. But it was it's like it added to, like, it was my one little heresy to the truth that sang within me.
So you get the pattern of the book in your body, and
Don't you dare say so.
right. Got this table. It's so.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's a quality word. So we still have one last. So you remember that you could not stop punching Leandros. It was what your body was trained to do. You were trapped in your anger. Or you keep punching until they could never hurt you again.
Oh, not one option about losing something now. I think. I think it was I was trapped in anger. I think as much as I try to discipline myself, part of that discipline just failed.
Guess
You're
what?
laughing. Aha! I
It
saw
is
you
a small attribute.
Oh, for God's! Oh, so far.
And you'll get the pattern of a fist.
Of course.
So, Dave character, you remember getting a bad deal. Did someone set you up? You were too aggressive, or you were scared and backed off?
I was set up and betrayed more than set up, I think, and was scared and aggressive.
So get +1 to soul attribute.
Mhm.
And you get a fading gradient death mark. That's a cool death mark. Oh, you already got that one. Oh, and someone else got that one. I hate when this happens. You remember lying in bed with someone. Did you love them? Did you hate them? Were you losing them?
Who was that one for?
For your character, Pearl.
Oh, love them. What were the three again?
Either you loved them, you hated them, or you were using them.
Oh, goodness. I'd like to give my character like one positive trait. I'll say I loved them.
Okay, so you get +1 body attribute, and you get a messy bed in your body.
That's awesome.
Sabine's character, you remember cleverly discovering something important. Was it terrible knowledge? Was it something of terrifying might? Or something that belonged to a lost power?
I discovered something. I think I discovered terrible knowledge.
Okay, so you get +1 mind attribute, and you get a magnifying glass in your body.
Cool.
Okay. So we are done with what we learned. Now, we're going to go with what I know now. There's something that changed in you when you died. You can feel that. Something that changed how you see your own life. A kind of perspective that you get when you are looking at your own past, as if it was someone else's. And there are 3 truths that you know to be true. These are not just memory. You feel it imprinted on you. These are facts. These are things that I lived on. As if you would know about a character on the book or from reading someone's Wikipedia page. Let's start with Leandro's character again. And now these are going to be the 3 truths that you know about yourself. You knew that you were cruel.
Mm-hmm.
You get a dead mouse.
Ow.
Dave's character remembers they could never sit still. And they get ants.
So in part 2, I befriended a lion, and now you give me ants.
Yes. Pearl's character remembers that they could never, ever escape their cravings. And you get clawing hands. Oh shit. Sabine's character, you remember working for the law.
Really? Okay.
Maybe spend the clarity not to be a cop.
Well, I quit my job, right?
That's true. And to discover terrifying truths. So
Yeah, terrible knowledge.
So you get the scales of justice in your body.
Cool.
Oh, You also know that your nemesis won.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious because I'm dead.
Well, that comes to us all.
Mm. What kind of mark do I get for my stupid nemesis who
A
won?
pool of blood.
A what of blood? A
A
pool.
pool.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Pearl, you know that you were a sinner. Dave,
Thus far, this tracks. I was a
you-
sinner. Do I get a mark for it?
yes, you get a line of crosses.
A line of crosses.
You remember that you were a comedian, and you get an hyena in your body. Leandro, you remember you were a loner.
This tracks.
Yeah, and you get a teardrop.
Of course.
You also remember being consumed by lust,
This kind of also tracks.
and you get lips.
Can I make a face with all these death marks? I wonder.
Almost. Dave, you remember being very popular, and you get another animal. You get a hound.
It's better than ants.
Pearl, you remember that you needed absolutely to succeed, and you get a dove. Huh. Sabine, you were an artist, and you get a
Okay.
paintbrush.
A paintbrush, but artist doesn't have to mean that I'm a painter. It could mean that I
No,
was
it
some
just means
sort
that
of
you were an
musician or
artist.
something.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
So now we can distribute our points. So because all of you have your clarity dice, so you can use clarity dice to move stats. So basically, if you want to change one of your core values, you use a clarity dice and reduce one by one and increase another by one. Or you can decrease one of your attributes and increase another attribute. So you're going to get concept pools. Concept pools are basically something that you use to get free successes on dice rolls. And they have a maximum value and a temporary value. And you have concept tools, which is your core and your lowest linked attribute. And you have vitality pools, which are your core and highest linked attribute. So the concept pools are ferocity, lucidity, and generosity. So one for body, one for mind, and one for soul. And vitality is health, anger, and will. Again, one for body, one for mind, and one for soul. The vitality tools, you basically are the death mark of the comedian is the hyena. So yeah, the concept pools, as I said, you use it to get free successes. The vitality pools is basically your health. Health is more lethal. You know, if you get to zero, you die. Will is your determination in going on with your journey. If you lose to 0, you give up and you become one of the unrequited that lives in the desert and become a non-player character. And hunger means if you have the means to sustain yourself in the desert. And you start to suffer ill effects every time you are at 0, unless someone is paying your bills. So yeah, you can change them around using the clarity dice. For example, yeah, everyone has no except Pearl's character that is a good pull on Soul. If everyone stays like this, they're probably gonna have low shade. Oh, the clarity dice, basically you use to shuffle numbers around. So if you want to, you can spend one clarity dice to move one number from one place to another one.
But how many do we have and where are they? Which ones
You
are
have
the...
3. Those should be the dice that you created at the beginning of the game.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
And
You can
then-
use that to re-roll memories, or now at the end to shuffle things around. So once you are happy mechanically, we can proceed.
I have no idea how to use one of my clarity dice to shuffle things around, actually,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I mean, I have 3 and they show some numbers. And if I say now I want to have a better body and a lower soul, for example, would I just use one of them?
Yeah, just delete one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if I want to increase my ferocity or my hunger or anything, then what would I do then?
So those are hard to increase because they are defined by your lowest linked attribute. So, for example, you're gonna have 3 generosity. No, wait, I'm not saying. Yeah, your character is only going to have now 2 on each of them because they have a base of 2.
Okay.
So one of the ways that you can increase, for example, is by shuffling the body, mind, and soul around. But that means that you decrease another one. But for example, if you want to increase them without decreasing the core attributes, you can, for example, the easiest one would be to increase would be ferocity. You can just say, I'm gonna lower my percept and increase my maneuver. Then my lowest associated attribute is 1, and I get +2 from the body, so my ferocity becomes 3.
I don't understand at all. I'm sorry. This is really confusing.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't either,
a lot
so-
of moving bits, to be honest. Yeah, the number of the dice does not matter. You just say, I use the dice, and the dice is gone, and that's it.
Okay.
The number
So is
only
it-
matters for the memories.
Later in
And
the game, having
can I-
them, are they more beneficial?
What do you mean?
I don't feel like I know what, like, we can use them now or we can save them later, right?
I think we can make it, because we are all learning the game, we can change them to at some point in the game to say, yeah, I want this number to be higher, start lower, and lose it. Let's keep the clarity dice. So just note down that you have 3 shuffles that you can use to, once we are more familiar with mechanics.
If I shuffle now, do I say, okay, I'm shuffling my body up and something else down, or do I say I'm shuffling my overcome up and my mind down? That doesn't make any sense. How does that work out?
No. You have to shuffle either between core principles or between attributes.
Okay, core principles are what?
Body, mind, and soul.
And attributes are the one below them.
Yeah, the other 9.
Ah, okay. But I can only shuffle. I cannot increase anything, right?
You can increase, but you always must decrease someone else. Yeah.
Yes, that's the.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. I have no idea how to how to use that.
Let's just save, because I don't think there is much added by using it now. It's more than, I think this fits my character better. Once we know that, we can just do the shuffling at another time. I think it's not going to be an issue. Okay, so how about we take 10 minutes break, and then we're going to be finished the final parts and then introduce our characters. Is that fine? Okay, see you in 10.
Where are the days? Never. Okay. 2. Oh yes, people are here. All right, I will see you soon.
Yeah, I was reading the PDF. I think I figured out what all this pool stuff means.
What was that, Leandro?
Oh, I was just reading the PDF and of this game, and I think I figured out what all the pools mean and how you calculate them. I think.
Well, I definitely haven't. So feel free to enlighten.
I mean, we are all learning, literally. So
Okay. I think I'll wait for Dave. Meantime, I'm just gonna keep scrolling through Pinterest. Oh, there's Dave.
Sorry, yeah, sorry, I just hadn't restarted my camera.
I was just telling Einar how sort of morbid my character's body markings are, like the guillotine and the line of crosses and the human shadow markings, and just not the most pleasant set of tattoos that I could.
You didn't get a zoo like Dave's character did.
There's like, why don't I get all the animals? But I actually think that they've come together in a rather cohesive character idea in my mind, which was surprising because at first I had no idea. I was like drowning, mobs, beds, but I think I've got it now.
So you finally get your last memory and you start to get a good feeling of who you are. And the light seems to be getting...
Sorry, but if Leandro has figured out how to use these dice, maybe give him a chance to say
Yeah,
that?
sure.
That would be totally great, because I really want to understand.
You don't mind, Ludo?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so there are two types of pools. There's concept and vitality, and they're kind of like concept are stuff you spend to like get successes on dice rolls, and vitality is what's keeping you going. And there's 3 each. There's 3 concept pools and there's 3 vitality pools. They're all linked to your attributes. So for concept, there's ferocity, lucidity, and generosity, and they're linked to body, mind, and soul in that order. So your ferocity is linked to your body, your lucidity is linked to your mind, and your generosity is linked to your soul, which makes sense. To calculate what each one, like how much your ferocity and lucidity is, it's your core plus the lowest link attribute. So for example, for Sabine's character, your ferocity is your body, which is a 2, plus your lowest link attribute, which is maneuver, which is a 0. So your ferocity is 2. And lucidity is so on and so forth, and you use them up basically to gain successes. You spend 1 point to gain success, you spend 2 points to give an ally a success. So that's concept. Vitality is pretty much the same thing, except health is linked to body, hunger is linked to mind, and will is linked to soul. You calculate that, but with your core plus your highest link attribute. For example, to use Sabine's character again, your hunger will be calculated with your mind, which is 2, plus your highest link, which is percept, which is 2. So you've got a hunger of 4. That's the base anyway. You run out of hunger, as in you run out of 4, bad things happen. So I think that's the long and short of it. That makes sense.
And it is a bit also weird because you can also spend like the concept pools. So for buying stuff, you can also do it. So one is a bit weirder.
Yeah, it's basically concept pools are like currency you can use to get more stuff, to push yourself basically, to get an edge. Vitality is the stuff you don't want to run out. So I'll just quickly calculate that. Also, that means like for very soulful people, our generosity and our will are probably very good, but everything else is it's not great.
I'm assuming we're still gonna wait to use our dice thing, although it seems in light of what's just been said that perhaps those of us who have next to nothing in one of them should use the dice to bolster those.
Probably, yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
basically have no lucidity whatsoever, as far as I can tell.
Let me
You'll
check.
have one. You'll have one.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
one.
I guess I don't know how important each one is yet. So if we want to keep waiting, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, that's the problem. There are a lot of pulls, and it exactly does what. Yeah.
So I got two. I'm just gonna put in the notes here. Lowest link. It's 3.
As much as I hate to tell on myself, I appear to have accidentally given myself one extra point somewhere along the way, and I'm not sure which one it was. Like everyone else only has 5, and I have 6. And
Yeah, you should have 5.
yeah, I don't know how I messed that up.
I think you you started out with your soul at 3, and then when we were fuddling around with these bits, you were putting 3 of you pushed your soul down to 2 and put 3 of these other things down there because it wasn't 5. It was just, I think you have one too many in
Okay,
there.
I will
So
take one of those off. So
Yeah, that matches my notes too. That you should have 2 soul attributes.
okay, I will pick one to get rid of. Thank you.
Yeah, I might use up one of my clarity dice now to give me. I might use 2 of them just to give me something on the other 2. Stats. I don't want. My health is 2. That doesn't seem great. Yeah, I'm gonna use 2 up.
A thing that might affect your decision: when your health goes to 0, you can die, or you can lose will instead. So your will is kind of a second health bar.
Like you can double die.
Yeah, you can double die.
What's further on than this?
I know you don't want to know.
Okay.
I'm looking at charm, create, and understand, and I'm not 100%. Is charm like charming someone personally, or is it like creating a charm magically?
I think it's more social. Let me go through the specific description.
I've got them here if that helps. So, maneuver is the use of flexibility and speed. Overcome, the application of physical vigor and strength. Withstand, the capacity for endurance and constitution. Apply, the use of schooling and what you have learned. Percept, the ability to sense and perceive the world. Reason, the capacity for intelligence and application of wits. And for soul, it is charm, the application of soul, vivacity, and clout. Social vivacity and clout, even. Create, the capacity for novel creations and beauty. Understand, the use of compassion and empathy.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Still 2. These ones go up. think I'm happy with all this will.
I'm like total average everywhere, 2 everywhere, so that seems fine at the moment.
When I say I'm happy, I'm absolutely boggled at all this will. It's too much.
What was starting will and starting health?
That is your core plus your highest link attribute. So health is linked to body, hunger is linked to mind, and will is linked to soul.
And if we use the dice, it's just to shuffle the stats, not to add a point anywhere, right?
Oh yeah, yes, which I totally forgot that was the that was meant to be the case. So I have to shuffle my stats again. Oops. So maybe okay, all right, okay.
So can you repeat that again? But so if I've got a body of 2, does that mean my health is 2? Is that
2 plus your highest linked attribute. So for
So
you,
3.
that's with stand is at 1? So
Yeah,
it's
That
only
would be
3?
3.
yes, you got 3 health.
And like, okay, understood.
Actually, you know what? I won't use my clarity die because I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna retake those die.
And it's 3. Is 3 the maximum?
Yeah, that's the you're calculating your maximum basically.
So no, because I've got soul 2 and understand 2. So does that mean I've got a will of 3 or a will of 4?
Will 4.
4.
Mm.
So yeah, let's break those cells to get you. Oh no, it's a single cell. Why? Why this?
Character keepers are mean. I'm just going to put 4 in the box. Oh, there you go.
Very good.
Woohoo!
Yeah, because the one time I played this, we had none of us had 4. So
I have 5.
you have 5.
My will is 5.
Yeah, but we all know your rolls will do you over.
Yeah. Rolls never go my way. We had a
So
start of
is it-
session move yesterday, and guess what? I missed. I missed that start of session move. So
Yeah, just like Hearts of Wulin, every single session.
every single
So,
session.
are things like ferocity, lucidity, are they 1 for 1? So its body is ferocity, mind is lucidity, or is it with the linked attribute again?
With the lowest.
Yeah, with the lowest this time.
With the lowest.
If you have a 0, then that's your lowest.
So I have a question. Since there's naturally a 0 in each one for most of us, or at least in most of them, because there are only 5 total ones we're giving out. Is it better maybe to stack the ones we do have so that the ones that use the highest stat have a higher roll, or are the individual things going to come into play more often and we want to have them covered?
My suggestion, from my understanding, is if you want to be able to take more losses, you shouldn't do that. If you want to have more successes, you should distribute them more.
I don't know what the successes are. I'm just gonna leave mine for now and let the
I'm pretty
game
happy.
do its thing. And
Yeah, it
maybe
could
I'll
just
regret
be-
it, and maybe not.
Yeah. Oh God, that create.
It's so much. Maybe I should have moved it around, but no. I'm gonna stick to my choices. I mean, now I get why suddenly my will is stupid high. Seriously, did all my attribute points from that character creation go into soul? That's amazing. All 5 of them. I really should move one of them. That's correct. I'm gonna move charm. I don't think my character is charming.
Yeah, Dave. Your concepts pool should all be 2 because you have always on all of those you have something that is 0.
I understood. It's a
Yeah.
little like Tales from the Loop.
Yeah.
I'm a chicken. I'm not going to move that point in charm because I just realized that if I did, all my concept pools would also be 2. Instead, because I kept it there, my generosity is at 3, which it's a bit contradictory to my character, but I'll keep it. Well, not contradictory, but like from what they remember, apparently I was cruel and consumed with lust and punched someone out of anger a lot. Try a new leaf. Who knows?
I am a smidge confused. I think my will would be 4, but I only have room for 3 check boxes that I can see.
Yeah, that's a mistake in the character keeper. I've inserted another role,
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
mine. So
And apparently to mine, because it just showed up. So I think I did that right. The ferocity, lucidity, and generosity are plus the lowest stat, and then the health, hunger, and will are plus the highest.
Yes.
Okay. Just so you all know, it looks like I'm going mad pretty much immediately.
now these pools are just for points you can spend, if I
Yeah.
understand that correctly. So that doesn't mean you have to go mad. I mean, you can, but
I think the last game I played with you all is the most lucid I've ever been in a game, actually. So it'd be on brand for me to start going a bit crazier this time.
Yeah, I've just added my concept pools in the notes and the little notes and with the pools because I don't want to have to put 5. I don't want to have 5 check marks and break the equilibrium because everyone has a limit of 4. And 5 will, for fuck's sake. Alright, fine, I'll break it, sure.
Gonna have to take my Twitter handle, though.
No. I usually try to be nice. I don't try to break games. This just happened.
I don't try either. It doesn't say I try to break games, just that I do it. It's always an accident. Just like when I break things in real life, which happens just as frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just clumsy, that's all.
It happens.
I've had 2 people write extra rules for games that were in playtesting just in the last few weeks because of my characters doing unexpected things. I was like, I'm sorry.
You shouldn't apologize. That's what playtesting's for. Break the game, and then the developer be like, "Huh, I didn't think of that, huh?" And then they have the extra grief of having to write it up again. But that's part of the process. It's fine. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm gonna stop boggling over this stupid will count and move on.
Just take it. Be
Embrace the
willful
will.
about it and take it. Right? Right in character. What does the hunger mean?
Money.
Basic needs. Apparently food,
Okay.
shelter, safety.
Okay. So it's not like a metaphorical, like, or not metaphorical, but like in some games where you have like a hunger that gets defined at the beginning of the game and you have to chase it all the time or something. It's just actual hunger that people have.
And if that's high, do you have to eat more, or can you withstand hunger better?
You can withstand. That's what vitality
Oh.
is. It's basically like HP.
Okay.
And you can also buy more nice things rather than basics.
And we don't have anything down for the resonance, stagnation, advancement, or the second body, mind, soul set, right?
Yeah, that's all, things that you mark. Resonance is when you are advancing your character, when you're getting
Okay.
close to having a breakthrough. And stagnation is the opposite, when you are just lingering too much and slowly the Tenebris is getting a hold of your soul and it's not letting go. So how is the shuffling around going?
I think I've decided that I'm fine who I am as a person. I'm gonna keep this stupid stacked will. Yeah, sure, I'm fragile. I probably bruise like a peach, but
Well, don't get hit.
hey, that's a simple advice. Simple advice. Just don't get hit.
That's the best defense, Don't be there when they are hitting you. Okay. So you are starting to get the notion of who you are. And I see that some of you are even recalling their names and how they see themselves. The dark river is ending, and you can see the light coming in. And the boatman turns to you and say, "There is power in a life lived. You are bringing a bit of light into the dark." And he pulls something out of his robes and gives it to Pearl's character. It is a shield. It seems to be made of light, undefined. But the moment you hold it, it gains a form.
That's exciting.
Yeah, what does your shield looks like?
Let's see. Based on the character that I'm starting to finally have in mind, what would work? Sorry, I want it to be really cool. So I don't want to just come up with something super fast, but I don't want to make you all wait either.
I can buy you time with the boatman going. The shield
That would be good.
draws upon the strengths of your soul, of your wisdom, of your ability to protect others, of your ability to resist stress. They are more than weapons. These are your approaches. They represent how you are able to express yourself and interact with the world. There are
Okay.
3 ways in which that can manifest: the shield, the bow, if you wish to use your wit, your speed, and intelligence to reach others, and the sword, if you trust your passions, your strengths, and your ability to be decisive.
So the bow is. I caught I caught them all at the moment, but I've forgotten now what the bow is. Sorry.
Wit, speed, and
Yes.
intelligence. And you got the shield.
And I got the shield.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the shield? How did I miss this up?
The shield
I'm
is.
saying what this shield manifests as. Is that right?
Yeah, because when the boatman is yielding it, it's just a shield of light. But the moment
Okay.
you get it, it reflects your soul. The shield is a manifestation of your soul.
Tell me if this is too complicated. But I like the idea of it being sort of the shape of a cauldron, but with the hilt of a sword sticking out the top.
Yeah, it can be a cauldron with the sword poking out.
Be kind of handy because the cauldron could shield the body, and then the hilt of the sword could be right in front of my face. Even though I know this is a metaphorical shield, in my mind it combines.
Yeah, and it
strengths.
disappears, and it disappears within you, and you get the feeling that you can call it whenever you want to make it manifest.
I like it.
The boatman looks to the other 3 and says, "You have lived complicated lives. How do you choose to live your next?" And presents the vague shapes of a bow, a sword, and a shield for you to pick.
I want a sword.
How does it take shape when you claim it?
I think it's actually I think it actually stays a sword, like a workman's sword, if that's a thing. Looks like, yeah, it's not fancy. Not fancy. There's nothing fancy about it. It just looks like what it is. It's a weapon. It's meant to parry and stab people.
So you take this simple weapon, this purposeful weapon, and another vague shape of a sword appears on its place in front of the boatman as he turns his head cloaked towards the other 2.
I think I'm taking the bow.
So what does the bow becomes on your hands?
It becomes a rifle. Long and like something you can't really shoot in anger. You have to be precise with it.
Another bow appears, and the boatman looks at the last one to pick.
Lightsaber.
Fuck you!
No, I'm gonna go for sword, but it is 2 serpents interwoven.
Guys. Sorry to interrupt, but look at Einar. Okay. Hi from Norway. Sorry, Dave.
It's 2 serpents interwoven. Sometimes it's a strong staff or stave. Sometimes it's just a serpent wrapped around the arm.
Oh, that's very cool. That's really cool. The boatman sits with next of you in turn. I am allowed to give you a single blessing into the dark. I can awaken a power within your soul. I'm going to show you two objects in turn, and you must pick which one calls to you most. And
Can I ask the boatman what he gets out of this?
you can.
Because I guess I'm the kind of guy who looks the gift horse in the mouth and counts the teeth.
The boatman seems to be struggling with a lot that he wants to tell you and says, I am here to help, but I am constrained on the ways that I can help you. And that is the only way which I can influence what is happening. So I need to help you as much as possible if you are to make through the Tenebris. God damn it. Well, he does seem to ask a lot of questions. Okay. So,
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I put my shield thing in the Curiosa because I wasn't sure where to note it. Is that
It's on
appropriate?
the
Or should I-
approach. It's on the approach at the beginning of your character sheet.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So, Lambent, the boatman sits with you and shows you the silver cog and an emerald feather.
Ooh. One of them. Okay, so I have to think. I'm gonna have to think this through, and this probably probably shouldn't have to think this through. One of them speaks to my heritage. The other one speaks to my heresy. Which HER word should I go with? You know what? I'm dead. I'm gonna speak to my heresy, to this truth that I kind of turn my back. Yeah, heresy is always good. I'll take the cog.
You are going to get a talent, and your talent is you can summon a vehicle which carries you over the sands, and you can pick one. The vehicle can fly, the vehicle is silent, or the vehicle is larger inside.
I can't have all three. They all sound very
No, you have to pick one.
Ooh. Okay, so flying would imply we're journeying quite a lot. Silent implies we're going to be chased a lot and we need to escape them. Larger inside implies we're going to be making a lot of friends so we can bring them into our nice, bigger on the inside vehicle. God damn it! Of course, it's larger inside. Stuff. I'm gonna say, I'll appeal to my worst nature. It's larger inside. Let's go with that.
Whee! There it is.
This is so ridiculous. I love it.
Next, they sit with Danica, and they reveal a rusty chisel and a glass eye.
I will take the glass eye.
Okay. One of your eyes is of iron, and when you turn it so, you can see weakness. What does this power allows you to do when you call it? Do you hit them when it hurts? Do you know what the creature wants the most, or do you know what the creature fears the most?
I think I know what the creature wants the most.
Okay. Prudence. The boatman sits with you and offers you a rusty chisel and aged bandages.
And what bandages? I'm sorry.
Aged bandages.
Oh, aged bandage. Okay.
Yeah.
Does he describe them at all?
No. He
No,
says that your
of course he
your soul must go for what it calls.
How aged are the bandages? Do they look like they would hold up, or are they just going to disintegrate?
They're gonna hold up. But it's
Then
really old cloth.
I will take the bandages.
You take the bandages and you get very good one.
And where do those go on the sheet? I'm sorry.
Talents.
Talents. Thank you.
Yeah. You get the power to change the song of a soul.
Ooh.
You can,
Fancy.
you can use this power to create love and hate, or to summon something a being wants, or to sing a creature to sleep.
Lord have mercy. Best choice ever. Can you repeat some of that? So, change the song of the soul can engender love and hate, right?
Yes? Create something, summon something a being wants, or sing a creature to sleep.
Thank you.
So which one you pick?
I don't get all of them. Okay. I was very excited to have all these. I was like, woo. Okay, so can engender love and hate, can create something a being wants, or that. Why did I delete them before I made the choice? What was the third one? Like love
Sing
and
a
hate.
creature to sleep.
Oh, sing a creature to sleep. Oh, I love singing things, but I feel like it's less useful. Love and hate. Oh goodness, how do I decide? Do I selfishly pick the singing one because I always pick singing things in games? Love and hate. Manifesting other people's desires seems like a useful thing. I can't manifest my own, I assume, if I pick that.
No.
Could somebody help me? I really am very torn with these. Anybody have a suggestion?
Can you repeat them?
You can use you can change the song of a soul and create love and hate, summon something a being wants, or sing a creature to sleep.
Singing stuff to sleep might not be as useless as you think, because we will be confronted with stuff, right?
And you're gonna enter limbos, which who knows what is there.
Well, it is my natural inclination, and this is supposed to come from my soul. So I think I'm gonna. Oh man, it feels so selfish though. But
What's your soul?
can I? But the rest of my soul is very nice. Can I put sing a creature to sleep? But if I change it like within 2 minutes, it's okay.
Yes.
So that we can go on with the game.
Yes,
Am I
yes.
holding everyone up? Okay.
Yes, you can change it later. And finally, the boatman sits with Hector, and he shows you an incorrect abacus and a haggard torn tome.
An incorrect abacus.
Yeah.
Well, I have vague flashbacks to some sort of Catholic school, and no, I hate that. I'll take the tome.
You have the power to know truth and exploit weakness. You can use this power either to demand the truth from someone, know something exploitable about your situation, or learn a weakness about an enemy.
I think demanding truth sounds like a nice thing. Yeah, I think I wish I could have done that when I was alive.
Yeah, that seems to fit the character. That is light piercing the boat. That's how close the light is. And you start to see that there are things next to you on the boat. You are not alone. So, how many anger do your character have? 4 for Hector, 2 for Lambent, 2 for Prudence, 3 for Danica. Okay. So there is a bunch of stuff at your feet. Let's start again on reverse order. So, and these are curiosa. You have at your feet a backpack. This is for Hector. A backpack filled with non-melting candy and snack cakes. You also have 6 pieces of waterproof paper and a waterproof pen. And you also have an harmonica that, when played, sings a sad tale of woe.
I'm sorry, Ludo, you were breaking up for me for the first half of this. Is this for a specific person? And if
It's for Hector. So Hector has a backpack
okay.
of candy that does not melt, waterproof paper and pen, and what was the last one? The harmonica that, when played, sings a sad song of woe. So these are the things sitting underneath his seat as he looks down as the light comes into the boat. Next, Prudence has a single object, which is a comfy sweater that is never too warm or too cold.
Was that it?
Yeah,
I don't need a backpack full of things, just a sweater.
no. So that's a So Judith, you have rainbow colored markers that can write on anything. And you get another one. You also have gloves that can stick and unstick from any surface. And finally, Lambert, you have an ID card that changes into an appropriate ID in each limbo that you visit.
So I have basically psychic paper. Is what you're saying?
Yes, you have. Oh my God, you have a TARDIS and psychic paper.
I just need a wand that produces sound. I'm set.
Magic screwdriver.
I cannot believe your bow is a rifle and not a magic screw.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now a rifle just seems off.
Change
now.
it. Change it. I think it's fine. Just be the doctor. You know you want to.
Oh, God damn it. I cannot believe I'm seriously considering that. No. I've made my choice. I'm not gonna go back just because I have 2 out of the 3 things. Now all I need is another heart.
I still can't believe I only have a sweater. I'm just like markers that write on anything, IDs that change all the time, all these things, and I have a sweater.
Yeah, but the sweater that is always the perfect temperature. It's always
That is
comfy.
very nice.
Remember,
Yeah, I do like being
desert.
comfortable.
Okay. So the boat approaches the end of its journey, and the light floods everything. Suddenly, light is all you can see, and then you can feel the searing heat, and the light remains just as blinding. And the light does not seem to be coming from anywhere but from everywhere. There is no sun, there is no stars, there's nothing that should reasonable be producing this light, but yet light it is, scorching warm. Welcome to the Tenebris, wanderers. You hear the distant voice of the boatman. Now, who are you? So let's go around and introduce our characters. So let's start with Leandro. Introduce us to Lambent.
God damn, I'm just realizing this character concept really fits there. Okay, all right, no. Okay. Yeah, Lambent, who uses she, they pronouns. She remembers growing up in a certain place, this festering wilderness that taught her, embedded deep down in her, that the world is strange, wild, and will never cohere to one's perspective, one's vision. But growing up, she taught herself that's in itself just one perspective, one vision, and she remembers spending a lot of time running away from. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, Ludo. Shut up. Running away from. Yeah, running away. Yes, I came up with this before the paper came along. God damn it. So yes, no, she spent a lot of time running away. There's a point where she owned a castle, apparently. You know, ended up with nobility. God damn it. No, I'll stick to this character. I'm confident in this. Yeah. For those who are watching this, people in the chat are making some not people in the chat. Yeah. Everyone's making the same, all the Doctor Who jokes. Yeah. But yeah, no, Lambent spent a lot of time running away from that sort of wilderness, kind of like festooning herself with trappings of like machines and whatnot, and lost herself quite a bit. There are points where she was quite cruel and quite cowardly. There we go, the Doctor Who quote there. And I think she probably spent the last couple of years of time, quite alone, whether by choice, but I think a lot of it was of her doing. And what she's looking for here is, I guess, a reason for all of that to have happened.
And how about Judith?
I think Dave stepped away for a bit.
Ludo, did you see my question in chat about if I switch to manifesting the thing? No, this is a while ago. I think we were in the middle of quite a bit of chatting. If I pick the manifest the thing, can I still sing to do it?
Oh yeah, I mean the idea is that it's all song related. Oh my god, like
You just
I
want a
just
screwdriver.
okay. So what can you tell us about Judith, Doctor?
Judith is she remembers being important, revered. I think worshipped even, but she now it was something that she didn't choose, perhaps, and fled from. And that is what she definitely sort of remembers. Her, I think her heart is wide, and her approach is comforting, but she is equally deeply sensual as an individual. And I say the serpent travels around her coloured robes and takes the form of a stave when she needs to defend herself.
And what does Prudence knows about herself?
there we go. How specific can we be? Because I came up with quite a specific concept for her, but it seems like
Oh, you
maybe it's
can
too
be
specific.
specific. The problem is when you get a break, you can just learn that you are wrong.
That's
But that's
true.
when a break happens. So yeah, go ahead.
Um, so my concept is that Prudence was a woman during the time of the American witch trials, and was in fact accused of being a witch because she could never escape her cravings and was seen as a sinner. Her cravings including being in bed with people she loved, who were certainly not married to her, and possibly were of multiple genders, that would have been seen as very sinnerly and possibly witchly. Um, so, and she has a sweater that is never too hot or too cold. So even though they tried to burn her at the stake, it didn't work. And then when they tried to drown her, as they did with witches to check whether they were witches, right? If they sank, they were a witch, and if they didn't, or sorry, they weren't a witch, but they were dead. And if they didn't, then they were a witch. Uh, Luckily, she outwitted the murderous mob by attracting the attention of some creature that saved her from the sea. Um, so that is my concept for her, and that she was in fact a witch. They were right, but she wasn't the bad kind, uh, you know. But that's one of the reasons she has a lot of uh, the soul stuff and the ability to create and other such things. So, a ravenous hedonist witch, but with very good intentions.
And how about Hector and his life?
Well, yeah, Hector was mostly fueled by anger and rage at injustice and stuff like that. So for some reason, he decided to become a cop to just help, to just try and work the system from the inside to protect people, and that spoke to him. And for a while, that was okay, I guess, but he learned then about some corruption in the department, and then when he tried to confront that didn't go so well. He quit his job, tried to find out more, and then his nemesis won, and now he's here. So I guess we can all guess what happened to him. Yeah. and he probably vaguely remembers that he had a wife, but that he had to plead with her for something, maybe not to leave him, or maybe to leave him. He doesn't really know what happened there or what happened to her.
So you are alone, the four of you, the emptiness of this desert, and you can see under the scorching heat something blurred by the distance.
Did
I
Ludo
think-
freeze?
No.
Just the quietness of the desert, completely still, completely dead. The vaguely outline of something on the horizon, twisted by the heat. That's all.
So I was worried sometimes it just happens. Oh, internet.
I think Judith probably looks at one of the others to do something in a imperious sort of way.
Well, disregarding that, I think Hector will do something like take a few steps towards the horizon, look around and say, well, I guess we're all dead then.
I suppose it was bound to happen eventually. What with the murderous mob and the drownings and the burnings, I guess something must have done me in.
Mob
Okay.
and drownings, did that all happen to you at the same time?
Well, technically not at the same time. Sort of in sequence, if you will.
Mhm.
Sounds a bit illegal.
It should have been illegal. I agree with you. You really should not, but this... Anyway, does anybody know what the thing is up there? It's out of my purview.
No idea.
Although at least it's comfy here, wherever we are. Nice and temperate.
It's pretty hot.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's hot. It's a desert. It's supposed to be hot, I guess.
I feel comfy, but I guess after the whole burning and drowning thing, most things would. Am I
Yeah.
aware that my sweater does what it does, or am I just like mysteriously comfy?
No, you know.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah. Yes, we get it. You died a horrible, gruesome death. Sure, whatever.
You seem
I'm-
unpleasant.
Seem unpleasant. Well, I should work on that, I guess.
Of course, this is who I get stuck with in the afterlife. Delightful.
Okay. I have no idea why somebody would want to do you in.
Are you all being rude to me after I've already been burned and drowned?
No, I was talking to her. I was talking to
Oh,
that
okay.
lady over there.
My apologies. Yes.
I'm not talking
indeed.
to you. You seem pleasant enough.
I try.
The ladies ignored you and is marched forward to look at the thing coming in the distance.
Oh, it's not approaching you.
Oh. Oh, it's just there.
Okay, are your memories as filled with holes as mine are? Because I don't know everything.
I'm glad someone said it first.
I mean, I remember that my name is Hector, but that's, yeah, some other stuff. But
Yeah, well, for giving names, since we're stuck with each other, my name's Lambent.
it's a weird name.
It's a weird place.
Not sure.
I'm
So-
Prudence. And who are you? The pronouns. The woman there with the serpents? The serpent's quite lovely.
Mm.
I think she stands up, and the serpents take on the form of the stave as she pulls herself up, and she says,
That's biblical.
"So, I am Judith, and this is
Awesome.
obviously a trial. So, that must be the first challenge." And she walks off purposefully towards it.
Great. Now we died, and this is like a video game.
I don't know what a video game is, but it seems like if we're here as comrades, we should probably all go together, right? So I'm gonna follow Judith. She seems, like someone who gets things done. So off we go. Anybody else with me?
I think I turn to Hector and say, like, we could walk, I suppose.
Yeah, do you have a car or something?
I think Lamin kind of like she feels it in her soul what she has, this thing, and says like pretty much. And I don't know. Do I have to do something to make this vehicle manifest, or can it just show up?
You do. So
Oh no, the first roll.
yes,
God.
the first roll. So you are creating something, right?
Yeah.
So your pull is going to be soul plus create. So you're going to roll 5 dice, and you want to get 4 or better.
Okay.
The challenge rating is the basic one. You are using your talent for obvious reasons. It's literally what you're doing. So you can get an extra dice. So you're going to be rolling with 6 dice.
Wow.
Yes. So you can make it more ambitious by increasing the challenge rating if you want.
What do I get by making it more ambitious?
You impress your companions, I guess, and whoever sees your vehicle coming.
You know what? Might as well try to impress them. One of them seems quite snooty. One of them can't stop talking about how they died. The Hector seems nice. Sure, let's make it a bit more ambitious.
So you're rolling 6 dice, and you need at least 3 successes, and each 4 and higher will be a success. So
I like those odds.
also, it's a soul roll, so you can also, if you use your actually use that after the roll.
After the roll.
Yeah. Also, if somehow you're using your approach, it's also an extra die.
I don't know how I'm using this rifle to create anything.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so 6 dice. I need 3, and I can spend generosity, I assume. Or
yes, so
yes. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Ooh, that's not great. I only got 2 successes, so I'm absolutely spending a generosity to get another one.
Yeah, that's good because the hard moves here are hard.
Okay, that's good. So I summon my thing.
Yeah. So why don't you describe it?
So there's this wheezing, groaning. No, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. No. I think it'll just kind of like in a rather not ghostly because it's not. I didn't pick silent, but it is kind of like emerge out of like it's coming out of frame. It's gonna like park up. Someone's making the warping sounds in the chat there. it kind of just emerges out of frame next to Lambent, and it looks like a Victorian era style like carriage for sure, like a proper like horse-drawn carriage, except there's no horse. Instead, at the top where the driver's meant to be is this like weird higgledy-piggledy sort of engine. Yes, this character is steampunk. I'm sorry. Ludo's making a face. No, she ran away from the wilderness. Machines, horrible single vision. That's steampunk.
Overcompensating too much.
Bit. Yeah, but yeah, it is like a proper like fancy sort of black and silver carriage with like a primitive engine at the front. And yeah, it doesn't look that much. It looks like it can hold 5 people semi-comfortably.
Yeah, and you did not manage to attract the attention of the many horrible things that live in the desert, so that is nice.
Well, it's not a beamer, but it looks comfortable enough.
Yeah, we should be able to.
What's a beamer?
Sort of a vehicle, BMW, you know,
Like a
German
carriage.
car. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
I was never
No,
in
we're somewhere
Kansas.
far worse.
Goodness.
Was Kansas even a thing at the time?
Yeah,
I think so.
Not during the witch trial.
Maybe not named Kansas, but the westward expansion went through Kansas. So, you know, I'm bad
Anyway,
at history.
I think I like kind of like saunter up to the front, and I think I'll just tap my foot against like I'm tapping my foot against like the where I'm sitting, and the carriage door just opens. I refuse to click my fingers. I've gone too far.
Well, I guess let's get in there because if Judith is fine with walking, I'd like driving better.
I think I think Judith would hear the car, the vehicle, because it's not silent. It's quite noisy. It's you hear it kind of like rack up, and the engine is quite noisy as well. Is she still gonna walk?
There's something over there. There's a strange metal contraption chasing you. I'm trying to decide. It's one of the interesting things. We have got a tonal overlap. It's like, what will you do? So I think she'll stop and look and presumably see you safely deal with it. And she'll also raise her eyebrow and look at it and go, overcompensating much?
It's a vehicle. You'll get the job done. Everything else is a bonus.
So here in the afterlife, as potentially a manifestation of our id and self, she reveals a small little metal eye in her hand and then looks up to your vehicle, compensating. And she'll step inside.
Hector turns to Prudence and says, "These ladies are pretty snippy."
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we shall try to get along, but I'm really confused as to what's going on. This is the oddest carriage I've ever seen, and everyone seems a bit at odds for what presumably are our afterlife coven?
Oh yeah, and the inside of the carriage is quite comfortable. It's bigger on the inside.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is weird. I have no idea if you're all real, I guess, but okay.
Is this some form of witchcraft? It's very advanced.
It looks like weird tech, like steampunk tech to me. Like we're in a movie or something.
It's the product of many minds. It'll get the job done. Don't worry.
So you managed to make your path through the desert, and as you go closer and closer, you notice that it seems to be like the mirage of some city with a massive temple around it. And so, Hector, what about this city screams to you as impossible?
It has a giant temple in the middle of it. I mean, this ain't Vegas, and this is like no city I've ever seen. It's like just I mean, Hector isn't a very educated person in Middle Eastern things or stuff like that. And it's like, why is there these gigantic statues lying of these chimera thingies lying around this temple thing? And why don't they use neon to illuminate it? But torches, that's weird. Everything's weird about that city.
And Prudence, what about this city tells you it was never made, not a single element of it, to take human beings into consideration?
Maybe never made to take human. Maybe everything is the wrong scale. Like things are either too short or too tall. But none of them are a convenient size, like doorways, for example. None of them are convenient size for humans to go through.
And Judith, what tells you that there has been a battle on this place recently?
There are the ground has been scuffed as if some sort of battle has been done here. There is still wisps of smoke, but there are almost silhouettes of people caught in panic and trouble burnt into the walls of the city.
Yeah, and the silhouette seemed too small, like chest high. And finally, Lambent, what wonder of this city dwarfs even the highest feat of science and heresy?
Dwarfs the highest feat of science. I think this temple is okay. Stop me if this is a bit ridiculous, but I think it's clear this temple is made of like a material that's not something that humans have figured out a way to build things out of. It's made of sunlight.
Not sunlight per se, but something that looks like a hell out of it, as you recognize. It's like they are sandstone blocks get of hard light itself. And as you arrive the place, you see that the walls, they have a bit of a slope, as if to facilitate someone that will not use the stairs. And you see the guards there, and they look like human guards wearing some kind of bronze light based contraptions and some majestic woods. But as you get closer, you see that they are much taller than any other human being, and more important, they have massive snake bodies, and they move around, and everything on the city seems to be built to accommodate them. And you see a bunch of snake wards approaching your direction.
I think,
Okay, these guys look weird.
really, what gave it away?
Okay, I just gotta say this. Yeah, I'm processing stuff. I'm not used to people with snake bodies.
Well, yeah, I guess we all just need to hurry up and get used to it.
Judith, didn't you have you seem to have like snake insignias. Are you familiar with these creatures?
No, but I think I can become so. So I think she'll take out the metal eye, the iron eye she has, which and point it towards them. And I think I'm going to try and understand what these creatures want the most.
They seem to want order. There seems to have been enough turmoil here already, and they seem to want order. And as they approach, one of them hails you on a strange tongue, but you find yourself able to understand it. Salutations, travelers. This mirage is under control of the 6 queens of the Nagiin. You are so blessed to visit it. May you state your business.
We're just travelers. Going there. And I point in some direction. Maybe tourists. Maybe we're tourists. We want to look at your temple, if that's okay with you.
One of them seems to lean. Oh, it's humans again.
Sorry.
I'm going to sort of try a different tack and hope that it's not too weird that someone's already spoke. Greetings and thank you for the welcome. We are unfamiliar with the 6 queens.
It's okay. We understand the limitations of humans. We understand that it can be quite daunting. And it's the sacred honor of the Nagiin culture to help humans to find their way across Tenebris. Have you started your pilgrimage for a long time?
Not so long yet, but the pilgrimage does appear to have begun. I'm afraid that we're a bit new at this.
Oh dear. Do you know anything about human culture? I have no idea. I heard that they need a bit of time because in most of their worlds they live alone. What do you mean they live alone? You know, there's only humans on their worlds, and one of the guards looks disbelieving like you. What do you mean? There are worlds where there are only humans? That's nonsense. And finally, one of them stepped forward. Well, we don't know much about the details of the pilgrimage and human culture, but I'm sure our priestess will be happy to guide you, should you wish.
That's very kind. Right, friends?
Yeah, seems nice to meet your priestess.
I think the word priestess leaves pondering look on Judith's face for a while. It said, "Yes,
It's better than like pastor."
we will meet. We will meet your chosen."
Oh well. I won't tell you the story of that priestess and her dungeon. That was just... Yeah, you don't want to hear that. And I don't know why I remembered that. It's weird. Okay, let's go and see the priestess and hope she doesn't have a dungeon.
God damn it. Are you going with your car? It's probably more
If the-
comfortable.
Yeah, they let us. Apparently, there's ramps everywhere. So
Yeah, and they are much larger, so all the pets are more accommodating. And yeah, you drive your way all up to the temple, and there's no stairs to the upper yards of the temple. It's all ramps, and you find out that the columns that support the temple, they are all of them are a part of a body of a serpent, and you can see that there are three serpents that are entwined and make the structure of the temple, and there are torches everywhere, and you can see a lot of minor attendants. Yeah. And we're gonna end up introducing you to the head priestess. You see this 9 feet woman with a scaly upper body and the lower body that is entwined on two serpent tails. And she approaches you. Humans, welcome to Tenebris. I can see through your marks that you are still new at this. You are just at the beginning of your pilgrimage. I am Sendalia, a priestess of the great serpents that writher underneath the great desert. You have found your way here, but this place is not for humans. The nagiin are the appointed overseers of all of Tenebris, and it are laws that we should guide you to wherever you need to go. You are so blessed, for you are under the protection of the 6 queens. Rejoice.
I'm all about rejoicing. That sounds lovely. What is your chosen manner of rejoicing? I'm happy to take part. With gratitude.
Yeah, before we rejoice, what's the point? I know what is the goal of our pilgrimage? I mean, at the end, will we have to go to heaven or hell or something like that? You're muted, Ludo.
That is not for me to answer, for I am of a nagiin. What lies beyond is closer to my kind. For us, we go back to the great serpents. Our role is within Tenebris. We never leave this place. But your future lies beyond, and it's our task to help you. I cannot say if it will good, bad, whatever it is, it belongs to you.
So this is a bit like purgatory, right? Where we get sorted.
You can see that she's very annoyed that you say that. She's clearly angry, but she's trying to be polite as much as possible and understanding. That might be a term that you might use to understand yourselves. I'm sure you're gonna find others like you that believe that.
Yeah, I'm not meaning to insult you or anything. I'm just trying to figure this out.
I personally don't put much stock in heaven and hell. This place seems much nicer than where I come from, if a bit unfamiliar. But I think we should go with the customs and guidance of our hosts here.
We'll be happy to have you as guests for dinner. Come, and I'll give you introductions and give you the first clue, because we have found something that will be of high interest to you. And
Judith contemplates the fact that she is traveling with someone who is clearly in the afterlife but does not give much stock to heaven and hell, and realizes we're all doomed.
oh, this is all that there is, isn't it? Oh shit. Okay, so anyone wants to do something before we wrap up?
I think I'm happy to leave it on this sort of cliffhanger of going to dinner with the serpent people.
Mm-hmm.
The nagiin, is it?
Nagiin, yeah.
And find out if we are the dinner.
Okay, so quick stars and missions because we are already over time. Well, let's start reverse order on the screen. So Sabine.
Stars, yes, stars. Let's have stars. I like the I like the character creation with all these questions and the death marks and like the character slowly came together. Who they were. I actually appreciated that a lot. I wouldn't have expected Hector to be a cop, but it kind of fits.